You know, sometimes when I'm up and I get knocked back down, I gotta search for my feelings just like a pat down. And when I hear you ain't loyal, I don't like that sound. And you done burnt all them bridges, don't you come back round. You know, sometimes when I'm up and I get knocked back down, I gotta search.
It's your boy Noto, back in these YouTube streets because your boy won't miss a beat. And in today's video, we're going to discuss how to tell if you are truly an attractive man. So we finna go on and get in depth with this. I know we hear a whole bunch of these types of videos, but this time we finna go in depth. I'm finna break down different stuff for you guys. But I'm gonna show you guys these clips first because these are the type of clips we always end up seeing. No offense to these guys or nothing like that. They have great advice and all this other stuff. But go ahead and listen, and we're gonna come back and chop it up and break it all down.
Here are a couple of signs that you're a good-looking man. You're handsome. Number one, when people keep looking at you, like sometimes you would think like dudes want beef, like or whatever. They just look at you for no reason. They stare at you sometimes, or like just people around you. They just keep looking at you. That's a sign that you're a good-looking person. People usually look at people that are nice to see, that are, you know, pleasing to the eyes. You know. So number one, if people keep looking at you. But number two is when people rarely compliment you, bro. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, you're a good-looking man, people are intimidated to come up to you. So like for number two, it's like rare compliments, because like people are intimidated about your good looks. They don't think they're on your level. That's the reason why they don't talk to you. If anything, you will get like a lot of compliments from dudes, you know what I mean? But not about your looks, if not by the way you dress. Like dudes will be like, yo, I like your chains, or I like your outfit. But that's their way to say like, yo, you're a good looking man. Like if my girl sees you, she's gonna want you, bro. I'm not even gonna front. But number two is rare compliments. For number three, and this is kind of weird, but it's true. Like if kids keep looking at you, if kids just keep looking at you, you're a good looking person, because kids always say the truth. And kids always like feel intimidated by, you know, beautiful people, you know. They always look at beautiful people. Because then again, it's like pleasing to the eyes, you know. Like you don't see an ugly dude and like just want to keep staring unless they're that ugly. But you don't look at an ugly person and look at them and then look away and then look back at them. Like you constantly see yourself staring at that person, unless they're like good looking, you know.
Signs that you are an attractive male. All right, signs that you're attractive and you are more handsome than you actually think. Okay, since I'm always talking to the women, I think it's time to talk to the fellas. So listen up. Number one, if you get a lot of looks, okay? And I'm not just talking about like just a one-time glance. I'm talking like in multiple times. Like whether you at a gym, if you go to a gym and, you know, women look at you, and it could be the same set of women who you may find attractive. You know what I mean? You probably find them attractive, but they always catch themselves. They always find themselves looking at you, and you catch them looking at you. Right? And some of them even stare. You are definitely more handsome than you think. Number two, if women approach you, okay, and women who you think are cute, you know, they approach you, like, you're definitely attractive. And they don't even have to really approach you. It could be choosing signals to where they are making it easy for you to kind of, they're in your vicinity and they're making it easy for you to talk to them. And not only that, when you talk to them and approach them, they actually show genuine interest and they talk back to you and you'll have a full conversation. That means you're attractive to them and you're very handsome. Number three, if a woman, you know, she got a dude, she might have a dude, she might have a man, whatever, and her man kind of comes around her and kind of hugs her and kisses her and is all extra affectionate with you being in that vicinity, he's doing that because he sees you as a threat. He's doing that because he may feel like his girl is probably attracted to you. You know what I mean? So, and you probably her type. So he's gonna do it. Like it could be to the point where like, I mean, he literally will be sitting or standing in front of the girl. He's standing in her eyesight view of seeing you. Yeah, that actually happens.
As a man who's been through every stage of fat, ugly, skinny, you know, everything, bro, I'm gonna tell you guys how to know if you're a handsome man. Number one is the obvious one that you guys should all know. If you're an attractive person, attractive man, people are always gonna be looking and staring and glancing, double take, bro. If you are not getting double takes, people aren't looking at you as much, you aren't as attractive as you think you are. Even babies, if babies and kids are looking at you, that means you're attractive. Babies tend to look at more attractive faces than ugly ones. They've done studies on this. Number 2, anytime you're talking to a girl, she cannot do anything that she's doing right. Whatever she's doing in her hand, she's gonna be fucking up. She's gonna be like kind of jittery and shaking and shit. She won't be doing it right. She'll be doing it kind of like nervously, shaking and messing up, doing something that she normally would. She acts out of character. She quite literally is not herself anymore. So if you don't make girls feel that way, then maybe you're not her type, or you're just not that guy. You're not handsome. And then number 3, you don't chase. A truly handsome man doesn't need to chase. He attracts.
Okay, guys, you've seen the clips and stuff like that. So yeah, they definitely give good advice and stuff like that. But I also want to go in depth because we hear this all the time. You see what I mean? No, like I said before, no offense to these guys, they making content. Hey, more power to them. And some people never come across that type of content. But at this point, we hear it so much that like this is all we're hearing every time we make a how to tell if you're an attractive man type video and all this other stuff. So I feel the need to go a bit more in depth and actually start like actually explaining different stuff, because it's just always this surface level things. Okay, yeah, it's this and that, you get seen and people let's go ahead on and get into this. So the first dynamic I'm gonna get into is the dynamic that the guy mentioned about the kids and stuff. The reason kids are a good way to tell if you're an attractive man, like truly attractive man, is because they have an unrestrained and unfiltered opinion. You see what I'm saying? Kids do not give a damn what they say about you. You see what I mean? They pick on people for looking a certain type of way. They pick on other kids for looking ugly. They pick on people for pretty much everything. So having that as an unfiltered opinion, having an unrestrained and unfiltered opinion is definitely needed in these types of environments, because ain't nobody, it's nothing holding them back. You see what I mean? So like the main thing with this, and I'm not saying like to go be weird and go out and say, oh, I'm trying to go see if kid, like, don't be doing a weird shit. Be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out and try to see if kids staring at me or not. Like, no, don't do none of that shit, bro. Guys, don't do none of that. This kind of stuff you just see, like you just on a roundabout and kids happen to be around and you start noticing the dynamics and stuff like that. Yeah, you value that and stuff like that. You're not going around looking for it, saying, oh, I'm gonna look and see you. No, don't do no weird ass shit like that, bro. That's definitely that's some weird suspicious ass shit. Don't go doing that. I'm not encouraging that at all whatsoever. But I'm saying the dynamic, if you in an actual place and there's kids around and stuff like that and they're looking, and they're always, you always have like toddlers staring at you, like little kids staring at you. Like I had like kids staring at me all the time, always. And I always told you the stories about the little Indian girls that were staring at me and sitting up on the perch, like staring at me while I was waiting in the line for ice cream and stuff. And they end up getting the ice cream that I got because they just knew it was good. They only got it because I got it. And their parents was trying to offer them another option of different other ice creams. They got the exact ice cream I got. I ain't gonna never forget. It was like it was a strawberry cheesecake ice cream, and it was like moose neck or something like that combined. It was like, oh, I know that's good. They just knew it was good. That's only because I got it. You see what I'm saying? But that's the main thing. And like having an unfiltered and unrestrained opinion is very good. And there's also been a study with kids towards attractive people. They say through careful monitoring by 2 researchers, it was observed that the babies displayed a clear preference, spending 61.5% of their viewing time looking at the attractive faces. This finding was statistically significant, suggesting that babies truly do exhibit a preference that is not simply due to chance. So guys, there is studies on this stuff. So like it's like they're definitely going to look at the more attractive people more often. They're definitely going to stare at you. And like having unfiltered and unrestrained type of situation in your life, say for instance, like with Goku and Vegeta when they was training with Whis, and there was the oracle fish that told whenever time when Beerus is about to unleash his unrestrained attack. You see what I'm saying? Like, so whenever he was sleeping though, so he couldn't control the amount of power he was going to dish out. So he wakes up and he sneezes and he just lets a big amount of unrestrained power out. And what we would do, he would teleport them and let Vegeta and Goku take the full brunt of the attack. because it's unrestrained. You see what I'm saying? It was unfiltered. It was no like nothing holding back or nothing like that. It was just straight unrestrained power. So he did that so they can get stronger and take Beerus's full power. Because usually if Beerus is trying to fight them, he usually holds them back. He doesn't fight at full power. But he understood the importance of having them be attacked by unrestrained power, because this is what's needed. We don't need you to be holding back or nothing like that. This is how they're gonna get stronger. This is how we go, stuff like that. And another example is when on How to Train Your Dragon, they got the baby dragons because the alpha had and took over all the other dragons, but they got the baby dragons to fly on them so they can fly over there and rescue their friends and stuff like that, because the baby dragons don't listen to nobody. You see what I'm saying? They're unrestrained, they're unfiltered. Even the alpha can't even control the baby dragons. You see what I'm saying? So the alpha was controlling all the other dragons, but they had had no effect on the baby dragons. They don't give a damn what the alpha say. We're gonna do what the hell we want to do. We're gonna fly where the hell we want to fly at. And another example is when the people will say, like, I don't know if this is like true or whatever, but I feel like it's a good analogy to make anyway. Well, not analogy, but like I guess fun fact or whatever about the snakes. They say that I'd rather get bitten by an adult snake than a baby snake, because the baby snake has an unrestrained amount of venom they will give you. Like they'll give you, like, they'll just bite and they don't control the amount of venom that they let out. They don't value the venom like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's an unrestrained bite, and they'll just let everything go in that one bite. As opposed to the adult, they'll control the amount of venom they'll get. I guess it minimizes the potency of the venom and stuff like that. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm going at. You know what I mean? So it's unrestrained and unfiltered. That's why the opinion of the kids should be valued and all that other stuff, because they definitely will not hold back. Kids do not give a damn what they say. They'll call your ass fat. They'll call your ass ugly, and they'll go and in the same time they'll go run to the ice cream truck, get some ice cream, and run off like nothing happened. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a damn about your feelings. Not a damn about your feelings. So with the whole kids thing, that is definitely a way to tell if you're an attractive man. Like I say, you're not going out to seek this. Is this a way that you can assess? Is this something that you can use? And just when you're out and about in public and stuff like that, you can realize that kind of thing. It happens. So the next thing that we see is going to be the choosing signal dynamic. Definitely the choosing signals, because if you're an attractive man, you're definitely going to be getting choosing signals. You're going to be getting indirect type choosing signals, and you're going to be getting direct type choosing signals. You see what I mean? So especially when you're in a lot of these places. See, the thing is, you have to prove this to yourself. You can't just go off of it and be like, oh, I don't get no choosing signals, or I get choosing signals here and there, or stuff like that. You got to be able to prove this to yourself. You got to get it on a consistent basis. That's the main thing I'm getting at. You got to consistently get choosing signals across the board. That's why I tell you guys to go out and get different perspectives in different environments, and like, okay, if this is happening over and over and over again, you need to prove that it's not a fluke to yourself. So you be like, okay, yeah, I know, I can tell, okay, I'm an attractive man. It's not just happening in a place where you feel like, okay, they favor just your kind or something like that. You got to be able to get this across the board. You see what I mean? Like, it's almost like you going to like a hole in the wall club. You're like, okay, yeah, some girls be choosing on me here, and that's the only place that you got your perspective from. You'll feel like you're confined there. You'll be like, okay, you don't have any other experience. So you haven't really broadened the spectrum to see if, okay, especially if it ain't a lot of people that come out. It's like a lot of regulars that go there, and it ain't like an influx of different types of crowds that come through that actual establishment, if you want to call it that. But that's crazy. But anyway, you see what I mean? Like, if you're only in one environment, you can't really assess the full magnitude of if you're truly attractive across the board. So you need to be doing this in the clubs, you need to be going to festivals, you need to be going to like grocery stores, going out and actually assessing how the environment perceives you. You see what I'm saying? Your environment validates the fact that you're an attractive man. That, never forget that. It's never you just saying, oh, I'm attractive because of this and that. No, your environment has to validate it. How people treat you is what validated it. Your experiences is what validate the fact that you're an attractive man. You see what I'm saying? So when you see choosing signals on a consistent basis, that further gives you more of an indication that, okay, yes, I am him. You see what I mean? That's where it comes from. That's where you fill up the experience bucket. You So you be like, okay, yeah, I didn't got choosing symptoms so much. I didn't got it so much. Okay, I get it over here. I get it over here. Okay, it's not a fluke. Okay, it wasn't a fluke. This girl's flirting with me over here. Okay, this is not a fluke. The girls be flirting with me at work. Oh, this is not a fluke. Oh, the girl be flirting with me on the beach. This ain't a fluke. Oh, the girls and to the women at the and the business functions, they be flirting with me there. You know, that ain't a fluke. So that's how you know they doing like all kinds of choosing signals, and the indirect choosing signals, pretty much them coming in your vicinity, probably starting a conversation out of nowhere, but not really letting their intentions be known and stuff like that. That comes in that environment. You see what I mean? So those indirect choosing signals are like kind of sending a friend over the top. That's kind of indirect too, because they're not coming themselves. Direct choosing signals will be them like staring at you, smiling at you, and like them actually just walking up to you and putting down on you type deal. That's another form of a direct choosing signal. So it's kind of really simple when you look at most of the things like that. I'm not going to get too deep into what the choosing signals are because I have videos on it. But my whole point of it is how to tell if you're an attractive man is that you consistently get them, and not just in these one environment. You got to prove it across different environments to yourself. See, that's why, because when you prove it to yourself, nobody can debunk it. So even if somebody come over like, oh yeah, you ain't doing this, you've proven it to yourself so many times, nobody can't even dare say, okay, yeah, you like this, you like, no, it's too many women that chose on me, too many women that gave me these experiences, too many women, and you see what I mean? So you didn't got this shit so many times across the board, and not even just this, that you attract across the races as well. So like, yeah, you're not bound to one race. You got different races that like you. I've already proven that to myself, especially at the last place I worked at. Now, shoot, it was Colombians, Ecuadorians, Indians, like guests and stuff that came through. Yes, I got choosing signals from every single different race, white, Russian, all kind of like every, like the European, the whatever, all across the board, Slovakian, Slovenian, all that, Albanian, all that. So I've already proven that to myself. Being in that environment where it's like a plethora of different types of races as well. So that's how I know that I'm attracted to different types of races across the board. I have that look at that point. Now I'm not saying I'm the most handsome man in the world. None of that. You don't have to. It's just the fact of being attractive. Period. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you can tell. So you're getting choosing signals consistently and across the board. You're getting choosing signals from different races and stuff like that. That's how you know, like, yeah. And even another thing too, you might even be getting chosen by the same sex and stuff. So if you getting chosen by the same sex, and like it's something that's unfortunate, but I mean, because of course we don't go that way over here. But the thing is, you can't control who you attract. That's the main thing too. So you can tell you're attractive man, you're attractive even the same sex as well. Other men are attracted to you, the men that play for that side of the field. So that's another way to do it as well. I'm not, I'm saying, okay, you go out and you know what I'm saying though. You can't control that. You're magnetic, so you can't just control. Like I say, if you hold a magnet up in the air and you say, oh, I only want cars to come. No, you're not just going to get the cars. You're going to get the fences. You're going to get the other pieces of metal on the ground. You're going to get everything else that's that's going to be drawn to that magnet. You can't just pick and choose what you want to grab. It's almost like losing body fat. You can't pick and choose where you want the body fat to come from. You just be in a deficit and it just come off as it is. You can say I want to lose it in my stomach or just my back or your thighs or whatever, but it's gonna lose it where it's gonna lose it at. You can't choose and spot reduce and pick where you want to lose the weight at. It's the same thing with attraction. You can't pick and choose who you attract. You attract who you attract. You magnetic. You just gonna attract them. Period. That's the main thing here. So that's the thing with the choosing signals. You have to consistently do that and across different environments, prove that to yourself. That's the true ironclad way as well. And the main thing too, and how to tell if you're an attractive man, let's go on and get this out of the way right here, is that you don't have to do much. And you don't have to dress up or none of this stuff. This the ironclad way right here. Is you dress up plain Jane and you go out and you can go on and get house. You can get these choosing signals plain Jane. You don't have to dress extra designer down. You don't have to wear chains, jewelry, or none of that stuff. You don't have to do anything to try to compensate for a lack of sexual attraction, being sexually attractive to women, or none of that stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's the main thing with that. You can literally go out with plain Jane. I'm not saying you got to dress like a bum or nothing like that. I'm saying like you just be well put together. It could be something simple. Ain't nothing designer, just regular, like you can wear like regular stuff. You can even order off Temu and still like get house type deal. And that's the main thing. So you can still get choosing sellers even when you plain Jane consistently. I'm talking about gym shorts, tank top, gym shorts, regular shirt, whatever you wearing. Keeping it clean, put together, whatever. You ain't looking dusty, bummy. But even then, like you got the hardworking man look. The rough look as an attractive man that can work for you too, but not like as a bummy look. You know what I mean? But shit, I mean. To keep it a buck, some women don't give a damn about that. If you look good enough, shit, they'll help clean you up. Hey, that's some other shit right there though. But I'm just saying with that, bro, you don't have to do as much. That's another way you can tell you're attractive man. You can just plain Jane and still get the results that people try to purchase through flexing and all this other stuff. You getting that stuff off the strength of your face. You know what I'm saying? Off the strength of your body and your face. So the next one is going to be the intimidation factor. The intimidation factor. Now when people talk about the intimidation, like, okay, how I know if I'm intimidating because of my looks and stuff like that. That's why I say get these experiences down. First, you have to know that you're an attractive man. That's why I say that you go and you validate it through your environment is validating the fact that you're an attractive man. So if you're constantly getting choosing signals, that's one of the main ways to tell if you're an attractive man. Of course, we are here to procreate, so of course that's why I put a lot of emphasis on the women. But I'm gonna get into the social dynamics later on after I talk about the intimidation factor. But if you're consistently getting choosing signals from women, of course you know you're an attractive man. And if you're doing that, you're gonna have an intimidation factor about you because people find you attractive. That's the main thing. So you're gonna be intimidating to people because they know that you're attractive. They know that you have the power to pull women, and guys definitely notice this as well. Like they know that you can get chicks and stuff like that. So that's another thing. So we're gonna get into it with the women first. The women, a lot of them be like real nervous to speak to you. Probably don't want to let things go too far. Some of them might cancel themselves out because they probably feel like they're not good enough for you. They might avoid you for a reason because they feel like, they might feel like you out of their league, just to keep it a buck. Like I say, they could be your type, but they feel like you out of their league, and because you look the way you look, and they feel like you can get better looking chicks than they look, because they compare themselves to other women so much. So they feel like, you can do better than them, or either they don't want to go through the stress because they feel like you messing with so many girls and all this other stuff. So that's a main thing too. That's a real big thing. That is a real true thing too. They will definitely cancel themselves out because they're intimidated by that. Some women might have a fantasy about you and they don't want to ruin the fantasy by finding out the reality might not be what they've been fantasizing for so long. So they'd rather live in the fantasy of having a crush on you than actually talk to you. That's a thing as well. That is definitely a thing as well. That's why Helga put up such a big defensive wall, defensive mechanism of being aggressive towards Arnold, because she don't want to kill that fantasy because she got a shrine built up of this man. You see what I'm saying? So even when people bring it up, Arnold and stuff like that, and she got to catch herself from doing the whole I like Arnold thing, in front of anybody or something like that. So she keeps it concealed, but she uses a defense mechanism to keep the fantasy going. Because if she interact with him too much, she might find out some stuff that she might like about him, might not like about him, and stuff like that. And to stay in the vicinity, but to keep him far away at the same time. Because that guards her from killing the fantasy, but that guards her from getting rejected as well. So it's basically a shield, it's offense and defense at the same time. But it's not really getting her nowhere. It's really causing her a bunch of stress. But that's just the way it is. They'd rather dwell in the fantasy than to face the reality in that case. So also with the intimidation factor, of course, you're going to have the men that'll be threatened by you. Yes, the ones that look at you and you can already tell they threatened by you. This is a certain look they give you, and that's another thing. You got to have experiences. Like I said, you're an attractive man, and you start walking around, you're gonna start getting these types of looks from guys, and you're gonna understand what that look means. You know what I mean? It could be like a dominating look. It could be like a look like who you think he is. Look, it's that look of I'm trying to make eye contact with you so you can, so you make it seem like I'm tougher than you type of look, or I'll beat you up type of look. It be that type of look. You know what I'm saying? So because they're intimidated by you, you don't have to put your guard up if you don't feel like it's something to guard against. So like they'll automatically do that, and that's another thing you got to have experiences with, because that's gonna happen just as much as the choosing center is. So you're gonna consistently get choosing centers from women, but you're gonna consistently have these types of looks from men. Now you're gonna have some type of guys that come around like, have admiration and stuff like that. They look at you like, okay, yeah, that's cool. I respect that. But way more, you're gonna have more men looking at you with that look of, yeah, I'm trying to dominate you, or that mug look. You gonna know it when you see it. Trust me, it look just about the same across the board with a lot of guys. You can tell. It's a very distinct look. You gonna know it. You ain't gonna. That's another thing. Like I say, you gonna see it across the board. When you see it and you start consistently seeing it, you gonna know what it's for, and then you gonna be like, okay, I can honestly say this is because of the intimidation factor of my presentation. You can tell that, but you can't just be delusional and be like, okay, yeah, I don't have these other things going. Like, I'm an attractive man. That's how you piece it together. Know if you're an attractive man, and they doing it because they know that you're a threat to whatever they might be trying to do, or they don't like the fact that they find that threatening a guy that can get girls. They know it. They know what that look like. They know what it look like when a guy that's operating at his highest frequency. He's getting his body together. He looks good. He got good genetics and stuff like that. They know what it is. These are the type of guys that then took the type of girls that they've been trying to talk to. These are the type of guys they don't like around. So even in the social environment, it's still haunting them. They have trauma from guys that get the girls that they want to get, but they got to do the most to try to even get that girl's attention. They see this shit happening all the time, so they know what a guy looks like that can get girls without having to do the most. They know what that shit looks like. And if you fit that archetype, yes, they're gonna be threatened by you. They know what it is. So it's almost like they're constantly walking around being haunted by guys that they know they can get chicks without doing the most. Deep down, they know these guys ain't gotta spend no money. They know deep down they ain't gotta do that shit. They don't want you heartthrob niggas coming around. They don't want you. They don't want that shit. Just keep it a buck. That's why they talking so much shit about Chris Brown and all this other shit. They don't want this nigga around, man. And that's on a high celebrity level. But you ain't got to be on celebrity level to be a guy that they feel the same way about. Shit, they don't like Chris Brown, they ain't gonna like your ass either. You see what I'm saying? So that's gonna be with that. And the mate guarding thing, that happens as well. So now there's an object, there's a woman there. So now they really feel like they got to be on guard because they feel like they're gonna lose it as well. They gonna feel like you could take their girl and stuff. So it's amplified whenever they around their girl. So the mate guarding intensifies this. So that's the main thing with that. And I've gotten really far into the intimidation factor many times before, so I'm not trying to dwell too much into it. But you guys know what the hell I'm talking about. Now going on to social dynamics, the treatment / privileges. People will ask you for advice and start conversations like out of nowhere. And the reason they ask you for your advice and they start conversations, they see you and they see your physical presentation, and they approve it. Shoot, it's valid. You see what I'm saying? Like I say, your appearance, your and then you walking around, and they can sense if you're confident in yourself. They can sense your aura. So your physical presentation validates your attitude, validates the way you carry yourself. When you walking around, you that guy, like you got, you the stuff. You got to have a physical presentation that backs that shit up. And when both cards check out, they on your ass like flies on shit. So people gonna ask for your advice. Start random conversations. Could be in the store. They value your opinion. They value your opinion in the workplace. Sometimes they'll ask you for stuff, ask you for your advice on a project or how to do certain things, even though you don't have the credentials or nothing like that. Another person might be better suited to give them the advice or something like that, but they still value what you're saying over the person that has the actual credentials and know how to do the task. That can be a thing. That's definitely a thing. People can start random conversations with you in the store, asking you about stuff. I had people telling me about their life. Like, oh man, y'all gotta go pay my phone bill, bro. Like, oh man, I gotta do this and that. Or sometimes they'll come ask you for advice, like, oh man, how you do that? You're buff, bro. See what you got going, bro. You work out every day, bro. This week you got club. I have club security asking me for workout advice. That's the same. Cause I ain't gonna lie. Back then, I used to be a club bouncer too. I told y'all that many times. I used to be a club bouncer back in the G. But like you just gonna have people starting like random conversation with you. Another one is like you get better service in like restaurants, grocery stores and stuff like that. Fast food like restaurants and stuff like that. Good service with the waiters and like better service with the waiters too. You could tell when they just putting on the facade. Okay, I just want to be nice to the guests and stuff. Versus when they're actually being a lot nicer to you, being a little more, doing a little extra. You could tell when they doing a little extra because you could tell how they serving the other table versus how they serving you. It's something you just gotta. It's small social cues you gotta pick up on. Like you ain't gonna be able to just call it out. It ain't gonna be extremely blatant, but you gonna tell that they doing a little extra for you. They doing a little extra for something like that. You know what I mean? And just because of your, especially like when it comes to the women waiters, they doing a little extra for you. Like, and a lot of times they be hustling and stuff, but you know the difference, bro. You do definitely know, and they don't care. Like you walk off, you don't leave a tip on the table, they still happy. You know, they don't give it. Like I ain't say you gotta leave no tips and all that. Like, of course, you tip them. Be cool to the people that's treating you good. But like I say, they just don't really care. They ain't doing it, but they doing a little extra because they know you're attractive, bro. I'm telling you, it's a definite dynamic. It's almost like if you're a male waiter and you see a bad chick sitting at a table, bro. Like these guys will treat her a lot better. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a dynamic, bro. It's a dynamic. You just got to pick up on it, and you got to observe how they treat the other guests as opposed to you. You got to be able to make that comparison, so you won't be delusional about it. So you be like, okay, yeah, like I say, I want to defeat all delusions. That's why I go look at different situations, and I gotta have stuff happen over and over and over again consistently, so I can know why this happens. So this consistently happens to me. People always start conversations. This type of stuff. This has happened for me to believe it. That is something that's happening because of my physical appearance and all this other stuff. I don't just go off of just saying it. Like I say, the environment has to validate the fact that I'm an attractive man. I stick by that. So that's why all these situations that I'm mentioning here happened at least more than 20 times, 20 times or more, minimum 20 times. Then I usually like believe it. You know what I mean? Then I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. After that 10th time, I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. But I still need more. I still need more because I just want to be absolutely sure and make it to defeat any type of fluke that'll be in my mind. Another thing is like you might get extra things as well in these environments. You might get extra food and stuff like that. Like you only supposed to get one appetizer, she bringing two appetizers over. Times like I told you guys, I've gotten free ice cream when all the other guests is waiting in line and stuff. Like I got ice cream, I waited with them. And they was like, oh, the girls was like, oh, just go ahead. I had my wallet out, I have a card out, and I was ready to pay. She was like, go ahead. Happened more than 6 or 7 times with that. Because like I mean I ain't eat ice cream that frequent to the point where I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I already knew what it was because every time they told me to go ahead, it followed with some flirtatious behavior after. So I knew it was a lot more confirmation there with that. And all the other guests they were charging the hell out of the other guests, like you know what I'm saying? So like this how I knew. Because the other guests, they had to pay it. I didn't have to pay it. You got to that point. Every time the girls was up there, I already knew it was for free. It got to the point where even the guys were starting to give me stuff for free. It was like insane. They started following suit. They was like, no, we're not charging him. Every time, and the girls like, I ain't gonna never forget. We was at this fast food restaurant, and the girls was like, we're not like whenever he comes through, don't charge him. Like she told the whole staff this shit. I will never forget that in front of the guests and all. We're not charging him. Only thing I ever went to the fast food restaurant was get some fries. That's all I ever went, or some yogurt. But they were trying to offer me burgers and all that stuff when they was closing, full meals and shit. Like, bro, like, hey, that's the kind of shit that happens, bro. That's the kind of shit that happens. I done had chicks that put their number on the freaking receipt at Burger King, bro. Like, I done had chicks say, I went to go order a coffee. They was like, oh, you want some burger and fries? Like, it's on the house. It's on the house. Said, I got you. Like stuff like that. That kind of shit like that. That happens often. That kind of stuff happens often. You see what I mean? Like getting in free at the club. You got certain girls that come around. Like, do that. I had girls that usually dance and like work at the strip club and stuff like that. You know how they usually hustle men, but they coming over trying to talk to me. They ain't asking me for $1. They trying to ask the chill and stuff like that. You see what I mean? So these are women that are considered. These are women that's saying, oh yeah, they usually charge guys for their attention and stuff like that. But I had one spending money on me. And that's another thing too. Let's get into a whole nother dynamic right here. It's kind of dark right here. The whole sugar mama dynamic. Like, it's gonna be to the point where you have women that always want to spend money on you, bro. And I'm so serious. Like, they always have women that I always end up finding myself in situations where women want to spend money on you. And it's like they want to do stuff for you, and like they don't want to have any type of, they want to mess with you, but they don't care about you having financial covering them financially or none of that stuff like that. They want to be the caretakers. They want to be the ones to take you out. They want to be the ones to do stuff for you, like financially. They want to be able to take you out, feed you, let you drive their cars and stuff like that, stay in the house and all kind of stuff, bro. Like, it could go crazy, bro. You have young and older sugar mamas. You can do it with the cougars. You can do it with women that's your age. They will literally be bro. I will never forget when I seen this post saying, when I like a guy and you said when he fine or whatever, and they said that my money like him too. And it was a whole bunch of bad chicks that was agreeing, like 100, like this. And they be like, oh, it's just a Facebook post. No, that's some real shit, bro. They ain't got to sit there and lie about that. And bro, I've experienced this. And I've seen other guys experience this, bro. Like, no, the baddest chicks that guys want to spend money on, these girls will simp for the guys that they find attractive. And believe it. See, a lot of guys don't experience that because they're the ones dishing it out. They've never been on the receiving end. So of course they gonna feel like, oh yeah, this and that, and they be like, oh, it's masculine to do for your woman, and that's the way they cope with not having women wanting to do anything for them. That's how the average guys cope with that. You see what I mean? They cope because they don't have women that want to spend money on them. They don't have women that want to be with them for the free. They got to pay for every time because they lack in a sexual attractive environment. These guys do not turn them on. They don't turn them on sexually. They're not attracted to these guys, so they got to compensate. They got to penny up. They got to up that quota. You hear me? Say they make them up it every time. Like, what? Buy me a purse. Oh, no, you got to pay a bill. Oh, no. Now, chicks, I ain't gonna never forget. Like, bro, I had a cougar that was giving me an allowance every week. Literally, I was getting allowance. This is when I was in college. She was giving me an allowance every week. This is insane, bro. I was literally like, she bought me a phone and everything. But hey, like I say, it's still a time clock on all that. But the fact that you have the ability to have sugar mamas, you end up in these types of situations. And I'm gonna put on my Patreon how to get sugar mamas and like how all the situations have me going in depth about that, because I'm definitely gonna make it serious. It's finna get real on this. So hey, for y'all that's hanging on and just want to get on there, we finna get the ball rolling with that too. We finna get down on Patreon. But anyway, yeah, those are the type of situations right there. And those are the type of dynamics you will face, and to know that you're a really attractive man, because they don't care about financial compensation from you. They don't ask you for nothing financial. They ain't doing stuff for you to be financial. And like, my thing is, like, you can be in a bad financial space yourself and they still deal with you. You have a high quality woman that's making a lot of money that still want to deal with you. Now, I'm not saying that you got to be a bum. No, I'm not saying that by any means at all. Get your money, be a man, take care of yourself and all this other stuff. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to do that and have the money in order to do it for her. She wants you to be stable for yourself, but she want to mess with you for you. Because, you know what I'm saying? Like when she likes you, it's almost like her money is your money down there. But you're not asking for it. They automatically want to do that, because when a woman finds a man attractive, they just automatically get in the caretaker mode. And a lot of guys don't know what caretaker mode is because they're the one being the caretaker. That's the main thing. But they don't get they don't get this dynamic that we be talking about. We're like, oh, and they assume that just because women want to spend money on guys that probably don't have as much money as the other guy or whatever, be like, well, I make more money than him and stuff like that. She just like the fact that he just got a job, period. But he hitting on a primal level so much that she don't give a damn about him making no 100K and none of that stuff like that. Shit, the man could work at McDonald's or Walmart and stuff like that. You got videos on TikTok of girls saying, no, who this guy is. He working at this man is working at Chipotle. He's saying who this man is. He look fine and all that. That they playing that music saying, I got a crush, and whatever. That little series they be doing when they saying, I got a crush and can y'all find this man for me and stuff like that. So let a man do that, boy. It's gonna be crazy. But anyway, they be doing that. This man was working at Chipotle, man. It was another man that was working at a Walmart. He was on the register. It was another man. He was just a security at the football stadium. Them guys don't make that much. Those are seasonal job. Well, that was a seasonal job. This man could be a freaking janitor like I was. I made a video about what being a janitor taught me about women. Don't give a damn about your financial standings. As long as you're trying to do something, you ambitious, and you trying to do something with your life. Long as you trying to, That'd be enough for a lot of women. Now, some women be like, "Oh, I gotta have this man on this." Okay, that can be a social class thing, but sometimes that's not even only stop them. That might be just be for their long term goal. Like a lot of women, when they get on this talking about, "Oh, the guy gotta have this, gotta have that," or whatever. They usually be talking about long term and stuff like that. Who's to say that they won't get with a guy long term that don't have some type of ambition or whatever? But of course, I understand they would want a man that's doing something. I understand that part. I understand that whole like dynamic type thing there. So yes, of course they want a man that's doing something for himself, but it don't even necessarily. But that's because they have living situations, and of course you gonna have to survive. And if y'all together, of course you gonna have to have money to live, and that's understandable. That's understandable, but it's not a requirement that okay you got to do this and they have to spend this on me, or you got to get my nails done, hair done, and all this other stuff. I don't women they'll do that shit for themselves, and they show up and hey they have you come through and whatever. You could be the midnight man, or you could be the man that they hang out with, have companionship with, and all the other stuff. See, the thing is, they guys will be like, "Oh, why would you want to be there?" Well, man, shut your ass up, shut your bitch ass up. You know damn well if you had the opportunity for a woman to look at you as a midnight man to come through and smash and stuff like that, that's what you would want. That's what you want. You mad that you can't have that, but you gotta go take these girls on dates. You gotta buy these girls purses. You gotta be the man on the forefront doing all this extra shit because they don't fucking like your ass. That's the main thing. They don't fucking like you. So that's why those guys be saying the most about the man like, oh yeah, he gotta do this, he gotta do that, and all that other stuff. Man, no. They saying that shit because they not in a position to get the woman to want to do that stuff for them. So that's how you know if you're an attractive man. They don't give a damn if you got this or that. They down. They ready to get down. Like some of the guys that they mess with back in the past, they didn't even have job stuff. Some guys they'll move in their house and pay his bills. Bro, that shit get real out here. It's this kind of shit that they'll never experience. And that's one of the ultimate signs too. So if you have women actually want to simp on you, women that men will simp over. They show me men in their inboxes and shit like that. Hello, they show me, hey, look what he talking about. He been telling himself, he been telling me good morning beautiful for 2 years. No response. You see what I'm saying, bro? Like this the kind of shit that get down. This is the kind of shit you have married chicks hit on you. I ain't finna get too deep into that, but hey, this shit, hey, the rabbit hole get deep with this. But anyway, let's go on and continue with my next point. The next way to truly tell if you're an attractive man is that you're able to leverage your looks and gain opportunities, bro. I can't tell you how serious this is. One way that I'm currently doing that right now is this YouTube channel. Y'all listening to me right now proves the fact. Like you can literally say that I'm literally building a community and actually making money and monetizing and having opportunities with my YouTube channel basing off of my physical presentation because based off my looks. You can look at everything. When you look at everything, I'm literally doing this off my looks. You see what I'm saying? But I'm not saying okay, they look, oh yeah. I'm not being extremely superficial about it, but think about it. If I wasn't the guy that guys would look up to or want to hear advice from, like, man, this guy chopped out here. I won't listen to him. I ain't finna listen to him, but especially about the type of stuff that I talk about. I talk about being an attractive man and all this other stuff. Y'all didn't see me go from this to this and all this other stuff. That I feel like that's what made me more relevant because y'all didn't see me transform as well. But the fact that y'all are even listening to me talk in the first place, and I really appreciate that as well. But I'm able to leverage the fact that I've made my physical presentation to the point where people are like, okay, I believe this shit. My physical presentation is validating the fact that I have the know-how to do this. That I am a credible source to listen to. You see what I'm saying? If my physical presentation wasn't hitting, like if I didn't look like the attractive man that should be saying stuff about this type of topic and actually getting good responses from this, you get a couple of me, oh, he's chopped out here. No, man, shut y'all bitch ass up. Like that. That's why I told you guys earlier, you have to prove it to yourself so nobody can debunk it. Even if somebody come over here, like it could be some girls say, oh, you know this and that because you ain't their preference and all this other stuff. But I already talked about the humbling tactics that people use against attractive man. Check out that video. But the fact that I'm able to do this automatically proves that I'm able to leverage my looks. It's plain and simple. I'm talking about content that's niched to becoming more attractive, and like it's not necessarily looks maxing, but it's talking about being an attractive man, having attractive man experience. You think y'all would listen to me if y'all didn't view me as a man as attractive? Just keep it a buck. If you look at me, be like, hey, man, this man, I even listen to what he say. I want to listen to shit you got to say, man. Oh, he don't look like he don't like he get no bitch. He don't like he know what he talking about. Y'all wouldn't listen to me. So this literally proves the fact that I'm able to leverage the fact that my physical presentation is being validated by my environment. You see what I mean? My environment is valid. I mean, my environment is validating my physical presentation. You see what I'm saying? It's making what I'm saying valid. It's making what I'm saying credible. The credibility is off the charts because of the physical presentation is hidden. People believe you. You see what I mean? And another what people come up, they'll like the other opportunities. People might ask you to be personal training. You see, I had people come up and ask me for personal training because of my transformations and stuff like that. I had that going on. So another thing is I had brand deals, brands reaching out. You know, they want me to promote their brands and stuff. I got that going on as well. So I got a lot of that stuff going on. I ain't gonna really mention their names, but I have brands reaching out, wanting me to promote their products, promote them and stuff like that. That's another thing. So your physical presentation hitting on a good level, shit. I mean, hey, that's how it is. People will reach out. They wanna be involved with you. People might call out to you for wanting to take pictures and model and stuff like that. I did a photo shoot one time. They was like, dang, you know, I want to take pictures of you. I'm a photographer and stuff like that. So like, hey, bro, you can get if you're able to leverage your looks and get opportunities, you're definitely an attractive man. If you're attractive, you can get your ass on social media, do something, show yourself. See me, I'm on the forefront with this. So I mean, I'm not hiding. I put myself in there. I'm not hiding behind some faceless account talking shit about somebody else. I put myself on the forefront. Y'all done see my face many times. I done made videos out here. I'm talking about this with confidence because I've proven it to myself time and time again, consistently receiving the signals that I told you guys and receiving the things have these things happen to me that are mentioned here in these videos. That's how I can talk with this with so much conviction. That's why I can talk with this with so much being so sure of myself, because I've already proved it to myself. The environment has already validated the fact that I'm a physically attractive man. So nobody can take that away from me. All these experiences, nobody can. All the people on the news panel could be on there like, oh, you don't try to be. That ain't gonna do shit to me because I've already proven it to myself. Different environments have proven it to myself. Very beautiful women that people are scared to walk up to you. Have already complimented my face. I've said that I'm fine. All this other shit. I done made a lot of chicks melt by looking at them and all kind of shit like that. I have definitely a whole bunch of experiences that will wipe the floor with any debunk somebody would have to say about my looks and anything like that. And that's why I can talk with so much confidence like this. But anyway, guys, it's your boy Noto back in these YouTube streets because your boy won't miss a beat. And remember, guys, anybody can improve themselves if they're willing to work at it. I'm out.
I'm all out of favors. Don't ask for nothing, had enough. They dropped me crazy. And all I did was show them love. They turned into haters. As soon as I would tell them no. Don't ask for nothing, had enough. And all I did was show them love. I did so much stuff for some people they came up and now they never will admit it. They took all advantage of me.